Good evening. It is 6:30, so we are going to go ahead and get started out of respect for everyone's time this evening. My name is Sarah Stevens-Krupp, and I am the Chamber Small Business Director for the Fostoria Area Chamber of Commerce. It's my pleasure to welcome you here this evening on behalf of the board and the members of the Fostoria Chamber. This evening's format will provide each candidate and person representing an issue 5 minutes to address the audience from the podium. We have a timer in the audience who will signal each candidate when they have 1 minute remaining, and again when their time is up. Once their time is up, I will introduce the next candidate. We will begin with the Charter Commission, move to City Council, and end with the candidates for the school board. Candidates will be invited up to the podium in order of ward and/or alphabetically. Immediately following the forum this evening, we have asked each candidate to remain for at least 30 minutes where you may meet with them and ask questions in Legacy Hall, which is located just outside the entrance and left down the hallway. The City of Fostoria adopted a charter form of government in the general election of November 2006. The charter sets forth a charter commission must meet every 10 years to review and recommend changes to the city charter. In the interim, City Council may amend the charter, but all changes must be put forth to the citizens of Fostoria for a vote through a ballot initiative. The current Charter Commission met multiple times, and those meetings were made public. They came up with recommendations, and those recommendations were sent to the mayor and city council to be approved, and then council made the necessary arrangements to have it appear on the November 2nd ballot. So here this evening, Here this evening, representing the Charter Commission is Charter Commission Chairperson Bob Green.
Thank you, Sarah. Good evening. First, I'd like to thank Sarah Stevens-Krupp and the Fostoria's Chamber of Commerce for hosting the event this evening, this candidate forum. Every 10 years, as Sarah mentioned, every 10 years, Fostorians are given the opportunity to study the effectiveness of the city charter and may recommend amendments to the charter and report to the mayor and council. Our Charter Commission has 15 members. Each and every one of them, its primary goal is to improve Fostoria, each and every one of the 15. The Commission invited all of Fostoria's elected officials, as well as all of Fostoria's department heads, for their suggestions and recommendations. Numerous other guests were invited, including mayors and city managers. After 14 meetings and countless emails, the major 5 changes recommended to our charter are: number 1, changing from a mayor-council to a council-manager form of government. A few of the advantages of the council-manager form of government are: number 1, policy-making resides with the elected officials, the city council, while oversight of the day-to-day operations reside with the city manager, a knowledgeable, experienced professional. The second advantage, it is more effective and efficient. The third advantage is it's less expensive and cost savings to Fostoria. The second major change we recommended to the charter is to establish a Parks and Recreation Department with a board of 5, of which 3 would be appointed by the city manager. One of these 3 must be an advocate for Fountain Cemetery. The 4th board member would be appointed by the Fostoria Board of Education. The 5th board member would be appointed by the Gary Family YMCA. The third major change to the charter is that city council remains unchanged, but there would be a separately elected mayor/president of council. The mayor would be president of council and preside over council meetings. He would appoint committees, boards, commissioners. The mayor would not vote except to break ties and would have no veto power. The mayor would still represent the city and still have ceremonial duties. The fourth change recommended is the Director of Law as well as the Director of Finance will be appointed by the city manager with confirmation of council. They must be a resident of either Seneca, Wood, or Hancock County. The fifth change is that if terminated, both the fire chief and the police chief can appeal their termination to City Council. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact me or any of the other 14 members. There are a few of them here this evening. Members are Bob Green, Chairman, Jim Schreck, Vice Chairman, Ron Hansen, Kevin Majors, Steve Kaufman, Don Mennel, Stephanie Kaiser, John Schold, Libra Martin, Bob Eatman, John Puffenberger, Clayton Moore, Richard Zabijian, Zach Stumpf, and Leonard Skanecki. We thank you and we appreciate your support.
Thank you, Bob. We will now move to City Council. Fostoria City Council is comprised of Council President, 4 ward representatives, and 3 at-large representatives. Current Council President is Steve Kaufman, and the 3 at-large council persons are Ed Logston, Brian Shaver, and Greg Cassidy. The 4 ward seats are all currently up for election. Ward 1 candidate Brandon Kaiser was running unopposed, but earlier this week withdrew from the election as he has purchased a house outside of Ward 1 and will no longer be eligible to fill the seat. Ward 2 did not have any valid petitions filed, so along with Ward 1, the vacancies will be filled via appointment by the mayor and approved by council. Only 1 candidate will appear on the ballot for Ward 3, Don Mennel, and Ward 4 is the only contested race with incumbent Tom Lake running against Michael Spencer. All candidates, whether running unopposed or opposed, were invited to address the audience this evening. Tonight, we will begin with Don Mennel, who is running for Ward 3.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this forum. At the last candidate forum, Councilman Tom Lake opined that Fostoria could not afford a city manager. I would like to take this opportunity to explain how the proposed city charter pays for a city manager. First, the charter eliminates the primary election, just as the school board has already done. All candidates will be elected at the November election. There is a savings of $12,600 every other year, so we divide that in half and we save $6,300 per year. Second, it combines the positions of mayor and council president, thus eliminating 1 at-large member of council for a savings of $5,800 a year. Next, the mayor moves from being a strong mayor to becoming a weak mayor, eliminating with a salary reduction of approximately $30,000. Fourth, the safety service director's position is eliminated as it would be redundant with that of a city manager. If we add those sums together, the charter saves approximately $114,000, and that does not include the savings in the benefit packages. This will more than pay the salary of a city manager. In research on salaries for a city manager, the Charter Review Commission learned that most city managers make about 20% less than the city school superintendent. In Fostoria, our Board of Education paid the superintendent $107,741 in 2017. If Fostoria were to apply this formula, the city manager would be paid approximately $85,000, depending upon his or her experience. I would also like to comment on the change in the status from the strong mayor to a weak mayor. The major change is the mayor is no longer the chief administrative officer of the city. That role moves to city manager. The mayor still has a fair amount of responsibility. He or she will be president of council, will vote to break ties, will represent the city with other cities and governments, and will make appointments to various boards within the city, including the Planning Commission, the Zoning Board, the Airport Commission, the Library Board, and other boards, including the Charter Review Commission. This is still an honor and a position of some authority. The City Council will be charged with writing the job description for the city manager as well as the finance director. The job of law director is well described in the Ohio Revised Code. The council can then require certain degrees or credentials as well as years of experience for these positions. The city charter form of government is not new. Dayton has had a city manager since 1913. Other cities with this form of government are Ashtabula, Dublin, Sandusky, Springfield, Westerville, and Willard. The charter has been endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce and the mayor. In closing, I would like to urge the voters to move Fostoria forward by voting yes for the city charter and providing professional management for our city government. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Mennel. Now we will move to Ward 4, and first up is Mr. Tom Lake.
Hello, my name is Thomas Lake. I'd like to thank the Chamber for having this forum for us to speak. I have lived in Fostoria for 59 years and retired from Adelaide after 30 years of service. I am currently serving 4th Ward City Council in my 18th year, was elected in 2003. I'm running for re-election. I'm the only incumbent ward person running this time, and I've never seen this happen before. I am currently serving on Public Affairs Committee, Airport Committee, and I'm currently serving as Council President Pro Temp, approved by Council for the past 10 years. I have helped change the city government to a charter government with bipartisan elections, changed from 2-year terms to 4-year terms with 4 wards and offset 2 years from at large. Helped remove council members from using city insurance to save the city money. It took about 2 years to get that done. And helped hold off the city 2% city tax for about 10 years. And have worked with FEDC to bring new jobs and business to Fostoria. And I've since changed my mind on the charter. I know it will save us money. I didn't like some of the changes at first, but I think it will save us money. But I think everyone has to read the charter and vote their thoughts. Thank you. Thomas Lake.
Thank you, Mr. Lake. Next up, Mr. Michael Spencer.
Hi, I'm Michael Spencer. I want to thank you, Sarah, and I want to address the people of Fostoria completely. I've lived here, I was born here, so yeah, I know this city. Even though you may not know exactly where all the wards are, the 4th Ward is more of the south end of town, so that's basically where I'm going to function at. I'm looking around in here because I helped design and help build this auditorium. So it's kind of strange being back here. But anyway, this thing, being on city council, I remember when Fostoria was Fostoria. We had people. We had things to do. We got to get back to that. We got to use city council to help focus back to where we used to be. Right now, there's nothing to do for the kids. You can sit at home and play your video games all day, but there's quite a few adults that do that too. There's nowhere really to go for adults, and with this pandemic, this last year, that really put a jolt on things. What I am looking to do is to get those 2 groups something to do, bring businesses back to Fostoria. so that we can become the city we used to be and have fun doing it. This is going to take some time because it didn't get broke overnight, and it's going to take a little while to get to where we got to go. Pretty much everybody has talked about changing the charter. I'm going to actually go out in the field and talk to people and see what they think. Right now, it sounds like a real good idea. But I want to know what the people have to say. Even though this is just a ward seat, that doesn't mean that you're not going to see me all over the place. Usually you will. You do it now. Because I'm with the CERT team, which used to be the Fostoria Emergency Corps. No telling where you're going to see me. Most of the time it will be a Circle K, but that's okay. But I want to help Fostoria. I want to help eliminate the drug issue. I'm in love with our police safety forces, fire, and I want to keep them going as much as possible. And I want your ideas. You can find me on Facebook. You can call me up. I want everybody's ideas to make Fostoria better. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. At this time, all city council candidates and Mr. Green, you may take your seats in the audience, and I invite all of the school board candidates up on stage.
No, I just borrowed them.
All right, as the remainder take their seats, the Fostoria Board of Education